Good morning. My name is Lance. I am the North Dakota Carnivore, and today is Sunday. I'm getting some morning eating. How's everybody doing this morning? It's finally, we had some nice weather here in North Dakota. Temperatures went well above the zero mark and actually went above freezing for the first time in over a week. So just another amazing day. I'm still trying to set some stuff up here. Got distracted by my wife and granddaughter, which happens. It is one of those things that I do have. I have family, so I understand people getting distracted and not quite going the way that one would expect. And that goes the same with the carnivore diet or any actual diet that you may be doing. I got to adjust my cameras. It's tilted just ever so slightly and it was annoying me. Too far that way. But anyway, even in dealing with family, dealing with eating a carnivore diet or a keto diet, you're going to have distractions, you're going to have issues, and you have to deal with them. Sometimes it's just going to suck, but most of the time you're going to be all right. You just have to do what's right for you. Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing this morning? We have so much stuff going on in our lives. Yesterday, after the stream, I was in another live stream and talked with some people on there, and then we ended up going ice skating. I've been ice skating since what would it be, the 3rd or 4th of January, so it was almost a whole month that we didn't go skating, and it's just different for us because with October, November, December, we were skating every weekend, and now we just kind of missed a few days or a few weeks. My wife wasn't feeling the greatest. She caught this flu that was going around, so she's been down for a few days, and it's been rough on us. Hey, good morning, Angie. How are you doing today? Master, what's up? How you doing? Chill Gamer, good morning. How are you doing today? But everybody has their struggles, and everybody has issues that are going on. And there's not a whole lot that really anybody's going to be able to change what's going on, but they can change how you react. And that's the biggest part is, like for me, I used to be real quick with a temper, real quick with, anger. I've really calmed down and I really mellowed out here in the last 17 months now, to the point my wife has noticed it tremendously. It's made a huge difference in our relationship, I think. And it's a lot of that's due to diet. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't get it, how much your diet plays into how you feel and how you react to stuff and all that. But it makes a huge difference. And just knowing that is a great benefit. Now, one of the things that I was doing in January, I was doing a rolling fast up until our temperatures plummeted to sub-zero. When it got down to 10, 15, 20 below zero, I stopped my rolling fast because it's too taxing on the body. It's too much stress. And now that it has come up a little bit, I've decided that I'm going to do my fasting again. So I started a fast on Friday night at my last meal. And I'm actually working on a 168-hour fast, which is 7 days. And it's going to be fun. That's the longest I've done so far is 144 hours, which is 6 days. And the issue I had on that one there, as I was trying to go 7 days, was the weekend again. I have trouble fasting on weekends, but I've never started a fast on a Friday night. So I'm doing the weekend first, getting the hard part over because I have no problems fasting during the week when I'm at work. 22 degrees this morning in northern Florida. Still isn't above freezing. Holy smokes, it is cold out there. Hey, just so you know, Jeff, it's 27 degrees here. It's warmer here in North Dakota than it is in northern Florida. That's amazing. Uncle Willie just got back from Walmart, picked up some more sardines. Chicken wings were too expensive. Yeah, it's football season, and it's going to be one of those weekends where people are doing that. Isn't the Pro Bowl on or something like that? So people are, having their wings and doing that kind of stuff. So they do adjust the prices of all that stuff according to what's going on. Just be less fat. Absolutely. I love the picture on that too. You can really see the huge change in your face. I recognize that. That's amazing. You've had some great progress on how you're eating there. Just be less fat. And good morning, Aaron, the carnivore guy. You almost made me late for this meeting, Aaron. I was watching your video that you put out this morning, and I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh my goodness, I had less than a minute to get back on here, and I had stuff I had to do still. So I'll have to finish watching that when I get done with this. But if anybody here doesn't know, Aaron also has a YouTube channel, and he puts out videos. And he just put one out this morning. He goes by the Carnivore guy. Let's see, and Aaron's just doing some errands. Jeff says it was good to see you on Larry's live yesterday, Aaron. Don't worry about it being long, Aaron. You had a lot to put out, so that just what happens. You don't mind if I post that here, do you, Aaron? If anybody wants to check out Aaron's channel, this is his latest video. Go ahead and check that out. Give him a like, give him a follow, and hang out with Aaron just a little bit here so that you can show support to him too as he does put information out there. It's actually really good. Just be less fat. You just subscribe to Aaron. Yeah. Uncle Willie, are you still there? I just got a notification on my screen that said my Rumble API key expired just now. So I don't know if I'm actually on Rumble anymore. All right, I did. I put it up there. I do watch Aaron's videos. I like all the smaller creators like Aaron, like my channel, like so many others out there that are just average people like us that come out and tell you what's going on. I am not a doctor. I don't do medical advice, but I can tell you from my experience what has worked for me and what hasn't. And like the standard American diet just doesn't work for me. Never has. Even when I was doing things like insanity and I was working out 6 days a week. Yes, I lost weight, but I had health issues. My cholesterol, which I don't worry about now, was high, and they wanted me on statins. I never took it when I was working out and doing that kind of stuff. But just doing everyday stuff. I worked out doing insanity. I got to 212 pounds from 292. I did that for 4 years. I ended up having heart surgery because I had heart issues developed. And knowing what I know now, it may have been able to be helped just by changing the way I eat, away from the plants, away from the carbohydrates, away from the seed oils. It may have helped me. I may not have had to have heart surgery, but I did. What was that now? It's almost 9 years ago. So, but I didn't know about this way of eating then, so that sucked. It wasn't a lot of fun shopping for meatball ingredients, probably 150 or so. Oh, that's awesome. Meatballs are such a go-to. I love making them, but if I made 150 meatballs, I would eat 150 meatballs because I like meatballs. They're just so nice. They're so quick, so easy. What is that? You're not a doctor. You don't play one on TV, but you watch ER. Yeah. I think I've said something similar to that before in one of my videos that I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's funny. But so what has this way of eating done for me? This way of eating, which is a high fat way of eating, has helped me with my blood pressure. That's the whole reason I went on this diet was to help with my blood pressure. Good morning, John. It's nice to see you here. John says, sorry I'm late. Watching the clock and got wrapped up in listening to Dr. Ben Bickman. Got carried away. Which lecture were you listening to? I know I like Dr. Ben Bickman. Number 133, which he did a couple of weeks ago, was about nicotine. And that really struck home for me because when I gave up my nicotine was the same time I was trying to stop my weight loss because I was worried about losing too much too fast. And I associated my stop in weight loss with the way I chose to add in dairy, cheeses and heavy creams and stuff like that. And it may have actually been the way I stopped. The way I stopped using nicotine. I chewed Copenhagen for 40 some years, 45 years, and that addiction finally came to an end last March. But I stopped chewing Copenhagen in February, but I was using Zyn nicotine pouches until the end of March, and I stopped the Zyn. That's about the same time I stopped or tried stopping my weight loss, and it took until June for me to stop losing weight, which was good because that helped out tremendously for me and my anxiety about stuff. And yeah, I still do have some anxieties about things, but not nearly as much as I used to be. But Dr. Ben Bickman, love his stuff. Let's see, just be less fat. A lot of channels need to say I'm not a doctor, but I play one on YouTube. Yeah. But actually, if they say that, then YouTube will probably ban you and get rid of you. So it's funny though. I understand that. Good morning, Heather. How are you doing today? Nice to see you here. Said John, it was a new video on insulin resistance. It was awesome. Talking about carbohydrates. You know how he talks, I do. I enjoy Dr. Bickman. Just Be Less Fat says, I love Dr. Bickman. I started his insulin IQ certification last week. That's amazing. I know one of the people that I've always watched soon after I started doing this carnivore stuff, and one of the people that first came up with Carnivore JT. He's also a insulin IQ certified coach or whatever it is that they are now. But he just started doing that here not too long ago. But Carnivore JT is amazing too. If you never watched, he's got some really good videos. And I think Carnivore JT was just on with Jenny Mittich. John says that's what I need to do is quit smoking, adding to my HSCRP levels. My information is pretty good, but I could be better if I quit. Yeah. And it is. And just quitting, I've watched that video on the nicotine and see the benefits of it, not just the adverse effects of the nicotine. As what Dr. Beckman was saying about the nicotine is it's getting the bad rap as being the cause of the addiction. And mostly it's all the other chemicals that are put into the tobacco products that are causing the addiction, not the nicotine. Let's see. Dr. Beckman on the Mind Pump podcast was one of the best yet. He is very energetic. It's kind of like watching Dr. Kiltz in the morning. Sunday mornings, he's just so full of energy. You missed a little on the Zen talk. Did you say you started to lose weight once you quit? No, I stopped losing weight, Heather. I chewed Copenhagen for 40 plus years. I stopped chewing Copenhagen in February of last year. And when I slowly weaned down on my Copenhagen, I was using the Zen pouches. They come in two types. They're 6 or 3 milligram or whatever that is. And I was using the 3, and I weaned down for a month, and then I stopped chewing my Copenhagen. I continued chewing or using the Zen pouches, the nicotine pouches, for 30 days after that. And then I quit using the Zen. I didn't have any issues quitting after I did that. It was actually pretty easy, and I haven't had any cravings for my Copenhagen. Or the hardest thing is the habit of putting something in your mouth, and that's just not right. But at the same time, I was trying to stop my weight loss. I'd lost over 100 pounds in was it 8 months or less? And I was worried about heart issues because last time I lost any significant weight, I ended up having heart surgery. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to happen again. So I added in heavy creams and cheeses and stuff to try to slow down my weight loss and stop it. And it took a few months, but finally in June, my weight loss plateaued out at 224, and I stayed there for a couple of months. Now I'm slowly losing weight again. But it may have been more from the weight loss aspect. I may have been the removal of the nicotine, because nicotine does have a side effect of weight loss. Just be less fast says you've watched Carnivore JT. Yeah. Carnivore JT makes me laugh. You're not a doctor either. You suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect. I'm not familiar with that, John. Aaron, also going to ATT store, having phone issues, bad SIM card most likely. Yeah, it's always fun when your phones are messing up. I have too many phones, is what I have. I still have, let's see, me, my wife, my son, one of my daughters, and an extra phone. So I have a grandkid who uses that extra phone. I still have 5 lines on my plan. Way too many plans. Way too many lines. Just plain black coffee. I am fasting. what would I be? Just over 40 hours, I believe, into my fast now. But the fast I'm doing is supposed to be 100 and 168 hours, 7-day fast. And I do test my ketones and my blood sugars. So this was yesterday morning. My ketones were at 0.7. Glucose was at, oh no, that's this morning. I put it in here backwards, didn't I? That's what I had this morning, 0.7 and 88.3 for my blood glucose. This is yesterday afternoon at 81 and 0.9. That's just after 4. And then yesterday morning, I was at 0.6 and 96. Now, for yesterday afternoon, this is at 4 o'clock. I did go out and I exercised, went ice skating and stuff. So I know this probably changed. My blood sugars went up. They go down as you exercise because your liver makes glucose. But I know at one point my CGM said that my blood sugars were in the 70s. And then it's like 77 or 78. And then a few months later, those numbers changed on the app and went up into 84, 85. And then I don't know the algorithm that they use when they're doing this stuff, because you can show a trend on your screen that shows your glucose levels are at a certain level, and you check it an hour later and all those numbers have changed. It's happened to me several times. It gets kind of frustrating sometimes with the CGM, but it's not just a CGM. Even my Keto Mojo, you can test the blood glucose on your hand, on one hand, test it on the other hand, you get 2 completely different readings. I've done that before. So I just use the same hand, the same finger every time. But if you do your middle finger and index finger, you get 2 different readings for blood sugars. Even if you were to stick it at the same time, you just squeeze the blood out and then test it, you'll get 2 different readings. And sometimes they can be off quite a bit different too. It's just weird. Yeah, so I'm not sure if Uncle Willie's still in here or not. Yes, it shows I have a rumble stream going on, but my computer here a little bit ago said that my API key, which you have to have on Rumble, was not valid anymore. And I don't know why. It's the first time I've had it happen where it said it wasn't valid. No, I'm not sure what's going on with the Rumble feed, if it actually works or not. And John says, I wish I could find more information on the back insulin resistance. Dr. Brickman talks about a little, and you've read Roger Unger's reports. That's what you're dealing with now. It's getting frustrating. I can understand. I don't know anything about it, but I imagine it's frustrating trying to deal with anything dealing with insulin and your body not responding the way you would expect it to. Gets frustrating. We deal with that with my wife. She's a type 2 diabetic. Let's see, 2 weeks ago, she was put on a steroid, prednisone, and that really messed with her blood glucose. I mean, it was bad. And she, her blood sugars, for whatever reason, prednisone just messes with your blood glucose. It makes the liver pump out a whole lot of it. Her blood glucose went from the 100s, 120s to the 200s to 250 or above, and without any real warning about it or anything. It's just really weird. And it's been staying up there. She was also put on an antibiotic the next week, which does not go well for her blood sugars either. So she's had issues with that. And I was looking at her CGM this morning. I was looking at the trends so I could see the 30-day, 14-day, 7-day, 3-day, and 1-day trend where her blood glucose is going, and it's coming down. But it's frustrating for her because she's eating right. She's eating the fatty foods. She's not eating carbohydrates, and it's just not coming down like she wants. But it's trending the right way now. Chris says the Rumble stream is working, but I can't see the chats. Yeah, for whatever reason, it told me I lost my API key and I have to renew it. But it tells me that while I'm in the meeting, so it doesn't work so well. I'd have to actually go out of this meeting and reset everything to do it, and I'm not going to do that. I'll have to do that for next week. Roger Unger's hypothesis is how glucagon from alpha cells play into insulin resistance and gluconeogenesis of the liver. So to speak, my glucose liver production is always turned on. And that's what happens with the prednisone. That's what it seems like is the liver gets a signal to turn on the gluconeogenesis, and you're just pouring out glucose into the bloodstream. It's just crazy. John says, I've talked to Kiltz and Dr. Chafee about the situation, but they know little about it. Yeah, and that can be frustrating. That might be something that, I don't know, if Jenny Minich would have any information on it. She's got some really good information, but I haven't heard her talk about insulin, stuff like that, or blood sugars. She does a lot more with the lipotoxicity and stuff like that. Chris says, you're doing a standing challenge, no sitting, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., excluding cooking and driving. That would be messy and dangerous. That would be. So you're going to be standing at work and you have a standing desk to use or something like that. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know if I can do that. I do have a standing desk at work. And I do stand a lot of times at work. Sometimes it's easier for me to sit and do spreadsheets and stand and go. Heather says, I have been on prednisone many times. It did cause weight gain for you. I haven't had to take it for about 1.5 years. Yeah. The prednisone is just rough on people. There's a metabolic classroom about glucagon. Episodes of 110 and 131 discuss glucagon. That'd be from Dr. Bigman. Go back to what Heather was saying here about the prednisone. That stuff is just so hard on people, and they don't tell you anything about it either. When she got put on, her doctor, knowing she's a type 2 diabetic, didn't say anything about her blood sugars going up or what she could do for her blood sugars at all. Nothing. Chris, you're a retired carpenter. Awesome. So you still do work out of your garage then? Or are you just going to be putzing around the house? And, man, I wish I could do stuff like that. I still got a few years before I can retire. I don't know if I live to retire. But I do need my coffee. Sorry. John says, I've seen those episodes, but in spite of reducing my weight to 190, multiple 20-day fast last year, rested, correcting yourself, red meat, eggs, sardines, keeping carbs at 0, you still deal with insulin resistance. I'll bet. Yeah, busy trying to fix your broken body, Chris. Yeah, I'm still doing that too. And I've been doing this for just over 17 months now. I'm still fixing my broken body. I've lost a lot of weight, but I haven't fixed everything that's going on in my body, and I can still feel it. I still know that I got stuff that needs to be fixed, and that's one of the reasons why I still do my fasting. I enjoy doing the fast. Once you get into the autophagy and the ketones get up, when ketones get up there above like 1.5 to 2, that's when I actually feel the best. To me, it gives you it's a whole different feeling. It's hard to describe when it gets up that far, but you really feel much better. And then when the autophagy happens and I get like my hand right here, this used to be completely dry and discolored, and it's got a little bit of a patch yet. And I think part of that is because I don't have sunlight. It really did great this summer when I was able to stand outside, be outside and get sun on my skin. I did really well. So I'm still fixing my broken body. My body's been broke for many, many years. I know it's not going to heal overnight or heal within the first year or 2 years. I still have a lot going on to heal. Cosmic Gesture, good morning. I see prolonged fasting ranging from 36 hours to days can significantly reduce or reset hepatic insulin resistance by forcing the liver to burn through its glucagon. The process reduces fatty liver, improves metabolic function, and can restore insulin sensitivity in the liver. That is true. And some people, like John is saying, he's done several 20-day fasts this last year. His body is broken. That's Dr. Kiltz was talking about that this morning in his Sunday morning meeting about damaging the liver with the standard American diet and how that's so much of our issues is we're damaging our liver, and then the liver has to heal. So depending upon how damaged your liver is, liver is one of the organs that actually can heal itself and can grow back. There's something like, again, I'm not a doctor and I don't give medical advice, but this is stuff I've learned. The liver can repair itself to a certain degree as long as you have so much of it that's still healthy. And part of the way to do that is through this way of eating, ketogenic carnivore diets. You hear people that will tell you that, well, there's not enough studies. Well, there was no study on the standard American diet in 1977 when they came out with that food pyramid. There was absolutely zero studies on that. But now, 49 years later, we do have proof on how it works. We have the highest obesity rate ever. We have the highest type 2 diabetic rates ever. And 88% of people are not metabolically healthy. Is that a coincidence or not? No, it's not. So obviously the ruling information being given out for the last 49 years has been wrong. So we can use that as a study. I've been a part of it. You've been a part of it without our consent or knowledge. So, ta-da. You understand broken. You just finished your 21st fast of at least 72 hours. Woofda. That sneeze came up quick. So, let's see. Just be less fast as just listened to Carnivore Dogma and figured out, yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that put out a bunch of stuff, and some of the stuff isn't right. And I'm sure I've put out stuff that hasn't been right. A lot of people have. But putting out what's working for me has been right for me. And it may not be right for you. And each person has to find what's the best way for their body to heal. And John's talking with Cosmic Gesture. That's the only time I get any release is complete water fast. But then when you go back to eating again, you're right back in the same boat. Wow. Yeah, John started at 367 pounds, and now he's down to 190, 12 years keto, 9 months carnivore. He's reversed diabetes, fatty liver, heart disease after a 5X bypass. Doesn't wear glasses anymore, and his mental clarity is improving every day. And it's testimonies like this from John, from Jester, from Just Be Less Fat, Aaron, Chris, Heather. People putting this information out there for others to see is what makes the difference for so many people. Yeah, when I first started doing this, I did a deep dive. I went into YouTube and I went into Google. I went into a bunch of medical stuff, and I did a lot of research, almost 2.5 months, almost 3 months worth of research before I actually started doing this diet. I watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of the doctor videos, Ken Berry, Dr. Bickman, Dr. Fong, Baker, Chafee, Silas, Tony Hampton. I watched, what's her name? Judy Cho. She's a nutritionist. Bella and Carrie Mann and stuff like that. But then I also watched a whole lot of other stuff like Aaron. And those are the people that really got me to do it. Carnivore JT, I watched some of his stuff. I watched Carnivore Ray. He's the one that actually, the first video I ever watched on the Carnivore Diet came from Carnivore Ray, and that was on TikTok. And that's what got me looking at this to begin with. Just an average person sharing his experience as to what happened with him and how his life improved doing this. So when John is sharing this information like this, it makes a tremendous difference to people that are watching, because those people can see that this is just an average person and this is what happened to them. Yeah, Just Be Less Fat's amazing. John says, I think what damaged me most was the insulin and the diabetic medications. I was not so much food. Yeah, I think that's probably part of what my wife's problem is too. She was diagnosed as diabetic 24 years ago, 25 years ago. And her body just has not been good. One of the first things they tried putting her on was metformin. Her body does not react well to metformin. They tried the extended release. She's one of the few people. Like, metformin has adverse reactions to like 50% of the people that take it. And by adverse reactions, I mean loose stools. You'll be sitting there, and then the next thing you know, yeah, you gotta go. You have disaster pants, and you have to go. Doesn't help. The extended release version of it, there's only a small percentage of people that have issues with it. My wife was unlucky, and she's one of them. But they would never give her, like when she was pregnant with our son, she was given an insulin pen so she could inject a long-lasting insulin. And that worked for her. But after her pregnancy, they wouldn't give it to her anymore. They want her back on metformin. That's the only thing that they were ever trying to get with. And Heather says, wow, to John for his healing and his transformation. It's huge. The music videos on my YouTube channel is about my journey since 2005. when I found out I had diabetes, it's been a fight. It is. Diabetes is a heck of a fight. And my wife was diagnosed, I think it was 2001, when she found out that she was type 2 diabetic. Kelly Hogan did a really good why video yesterday. I'm going to have to watch that. I like Kelly. She's got some good information. John's music videos are awesome. They are. I agree with that, Jeff. And let me see here. Can I find John's channel quickly or not? And I did it. Here it is. So anybody that's out there, you want to check out John's channel, he's got some music videos on here, and it's actually pretty damn good too. I like them. Check out John's channel and see what he has to say. And then Heather's also got a YouTube channel out there. If I can find Heather's channel, I'll put that up there too, because I know Heather's got a channel. You guys check out her channel also, because she's got some good videos out there. And Heather just subscribed to John. Awesome. So, yeah. That's one of the things I like, Heather, is I like the channels like yours. I like the channel like Aaron's, because it helps people. They see just an average person like me who are getting healing from doing this. And it's so nice to see. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a paid influencer. I don't get anything for doing this other than I get to help somebody. If I touch one person and I help one person heal themselves and live a better life because they've been able to get healthy, it's worth it. Now, do I know I've done that? I know I have. There's several people here in the town that I live in who are doing this type of diet because of my videos and the stuff I've posted on YouTube and Facebook and X. And actually on Friday, I got a call from a guy that I used to work with, wanted to know about this stuff. So I talked to him for a little bit. And it's amazing. You put yourself out there. A lot of people will look at it the first time and they're like, yeah, whatever. But then they'll start seeing it and they'll go back and they'll look again. And if it helps one person to be able to heal their body by doing this, I'm all for it. It's one of the other things that this diet has done is I would have never done this before. I'd have never had the confidence to sit behind a camera and talk to people on YouTube. I had never done this before. You know, I've been doing my channel now for just over a year, and you can look at the very start of my channel and see I was still pretty heavy at that time. Are you already subscribed to Grandma? Yep. Cosmic Gesture, outside of unnatural foods like highly processed ones, I would say not giving your liver enough of a break in between eating is the biggest damage to it. Because it can heal itself if you give it a break. And that is correct. And it does, but it does take time to heal it. And each person has their own way of healing. And it's really, that's what I'm saying for a lot of people. You have to find what works for you. I can tell you what worked for me. Grandma can tell you what worked for her, or Heather can tell you what worked for her. Jester can tell you what worked for him, but each person has their own path. And they're very similar, but some of them are, well, they're all actually unique to the person, but they're similar to each other's. And that similarity is the carnivore diet. John says, I do tag all the YouTube channels and meal. I appreciate it. Yes, I haven't been into the description that looked at that. I just, when you release the videos and stuff on that, John, I'm generally at work and I listen to music while I'm at work. I throw this headset on and I listen to stuff while I'm at work. And a lot of times I'm, knee deep into other stuff. So I don't get to see the videos the first time I watch them generally. But I go back and I watch them. I don't go into a lot of the descriptions to see stuff like that. I appreciate it. I noticed that with Aaron's this morning too. Aaron, I did go into his description this morning because I saw something was on the very top and I'm like, what? So I clicked on the more information. So I got to see his description and he puts the channels in there that he watches too. And that's actually nice to see that. I put that in my descriptions. I got a lot of the channels I watched. And actually, I don't think I put Grandma's or John's in there yet. I'm going to do that. Chris says he's intrigued with dry fasting. Never had the nerve to try it. You think you're ready to try it? Dry fasting is a different animal altogether. I've done, fast up to 144 hours, 6 days. I've done several of them. And I've done just one fast where I did a dry fast for 24 hours and then went into a regular water fast. That was actually pretty rough for me, 24 hours of a dry fast was a real challenge. I had a hard time with that. John, that's why you go through so much expense on these videos. If you can help one person, then it's all worth it. Absolutely. Passing it forward, helping anybody else out there is what it's all about. And when you start to feel so good eating this way, it makes you want to share it. I mean, there's no other way to really describe it. It's just an amazing feeling you get when you eat this way. You have so much that changes in your body. You have so much changing out of your body, everything. It really is an amazing way. Chris, you've done 14 and 16 day water fast before. See, I haven't gone over 6 days, so you've gone way more than I have. Any thoughts on dry fasting if you have donated a kidney? I actually have no idea about that. Fasting in general, if you've donated a kidney, I don't know. I would actually have to check and talk with a doctor who is familiar with fasting protocols, because that's not something that I could give advice on, because I have no idea about that. I haven't done any research on it or anything. You just started doing the tagging on the newer video. Okay. I need to go over the other ones and put the tags in there also. Yeah, that can be tedious doing that. I do have a link for like the carnivore bar, and I have that in my descriptions. They changed their company that does all their stuff, so it went from one tag to another, and so everything had to get changed in mine. Now, I did it too late. Somebody did use my link for the old system, and they bought whatever it was. It was a couple of bucks for a commission that I should have gotten from that link. I won't get it because they used the wrong link, because the information they gave out was wrong. They said that the links and the discount code would still work. They did, but it went to the old system, and the old system is done paying out. So I don't get it. No. But it is a pain going back through adding stuff into old videos and old posts. And I don't know if you have posts on your channel or not. I have the posts on mine, so I think that's what they use was an old post. Jeff says I've done electrolyte fasting for 72 hours before, after donating. Wow. So I know as long as you're doing, I mean, you've done it. As long as you're mindful of what's going on and you can have your, if you're close enough to one of those places where you can do like own your own labs or Quest Diagnostic testing where you can order your own stuff, you should be able to test your EGFR, your kidney function, and see if it's being affected while you're doing a dry fast. You test it before and test it afterwards. And then you would know what it's doing to your body. I don't have any of those near me, so my closest place where I can do self-testing like that and order what I actually want is like 400 miles away. We do have a local clinic here that's doing some testing for where you can order your own tests, but the tests that they're offering are not ones I want to see. They might be some of them. I think the lipid stuff that they do, you can get the size differential so you can see if you're type or pattern A or pattern B, but you can't order your own vaccine insulin. It's not one of the ones that they want to test on. There's a fructosamine that can replace or it's used instead of A1C for people whose red blood cells live longer. It gives you a better representation of what your A1C should be. But, some of the stuff that they're offering is just basic stuff, but not actually what I want to see. But if you did that, if you were able to do like Quest Diagnostic or own your own labs, you could test before, you could test during or test after just to see what it's doing with your kidney functions. Yeah, that's always one way to do it. Jenny Minich has codes on her channel where she can get a discount using own your own labs. Maybe give that a shot. That's always a possibility. There's so many different ways out there to do this now too. I keep seeing a commercial for one that they stick it on your arm and it slowly draws the blood. I don't know I haven't really done any looking into it. Yeah. Sometimes they come to me, sometimes they don't. But I don't know what that one does. I don't know if you can order your own labs like that and then mail it off. If they'll ship it to you, what the cost is. I'm not sure. Let's see. What am I looking for? Yeah, I don't see nothing there. Tuber Chat pushed your channel out last night. That was pretty cool. Tuber Chat. I don't know what Tuber Chat is. Never heard of it. But they pushed out your channel so you get more people to look at it. That's awesome. Is that like a different YouTube or different way to put stuff out? Or is that a creator? Tuber Chat, connect and grow. Okay, most influential small YouTubers can get help. You get your channel moving beyond the first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. Okay. I was not aware of that, so I might have to look into that, huh? So you do need the subscribers to grow. It is important. Choking down your meds on dry paths would be that would be gross. So I don't take meds. So that's one thing I got really lucky on. Let's see, John says Lance and Bike Channel is the best kept secret out there. True scientific based information. I thank you. I appreciate it. I do try to not make it opinionated. I still do a lot of research here at home, and I do a lot of stuff on the computer. I look up a lot of stuff, and I try to make information that I put out valid and true. So many people do put stuff out that's not in it. You gotta find out what's right. But now, I don't only watch carnivore channels. One of my favorite YouTube channels to watch, Beard Meats Food. That guy can't eat. I love his stuff. Hey, Kitchen Witch, good morning. How are you this morning? It's nice to see you here. That's Beard Meats Food is one of my favorite channels. And Emma Gaston Press. Have you ever watched any of that? That guy, him and his son just walk around places with cameras. They'll stop and video stuff. And a lot of people are excited to see him and talk to him. Some people just don't like being on camera, refuse to be civil with them. It's just funny stuff. But, well, it's been just about an hour. Did I miss Larry is not going to be live today? Anybody know? Did I miss something with Larry taking the day off? You're enjoying a much needed day off. It's like Larry is too. I don't see a live stream on Sunday for Larry this morning. So anybody's here yesterday? I could tell my stream I was listening to his. I was in and out of here, so I didn't really get to hear all of it. But I thought he was still doing a Sunday live stream. Or did they lose power and internet again? I'm not sure. But I am going to call it a day. You all have a great day, a great weekend. Stay true to your way of eating. And let's make this coming week a blessed week. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you next Saturday